Hello, welcome back to the Good, the Bad and the Stupid. It's Wednesday, the 9th of October. I nearly said Monday then. That's because Monday was the day I was meant to do a podcast, and on Tuesday. I haven't done either. I'm actually just getting my head right after a weekend away. So if you didn't notice I was gone, that's good. If you've been waiting with bated breath to hear what I've got to say, I'm sorry about that, but I'm pretty certain that's not the case. So anyway, you've had a welcome break, so it's welcome back to you, welcome back to me. I've been away to Budapest and to Slovakia, well, to Bratislava, and then 2 hours bus journey down to Budapest, which was meant to be a 1 hour train journey, I think, but we booked the wrong tickets and ended up at the train station with bus tickets. So that was a little cock up, but it was a good trip anyway. Loved it. It was great to be in a place where it was cheap. Budapest, I thought, was very cheap. It was quite funny because I imagine after the Brexit fiasco, or after October the 31st, there's every chance that people from places like Budapest and Hungary will be coming here for a cheap holiday when the pound hits the skids. But at the time, anyway, I found it quite cheap, and it was. They've got a different currency, foreigns. They've still got their own currency, so it was very hard to sort of work out. But it was all in thousands, so you're buying things, and it was like 8,562. Something like that. And you think that sounds like a lot, but it actually worked out to be something like £7 or £8. So I like that. It's a bit confusing, but at the same time, I like that when you're on holiday, when the money just fucks your head up. You know, when you kind of 1 minute you're thinking you're getting a good deal and you're getting ripped off. The next minute you think you're paying too much, but it's cheap as chips. So it was part of the fun. Anyway, great experience. Good to be back, and. Obviously, the Brexit roller coaster still rolls on. We're getting closer and closer to, I don't know what we're going to get close to, but it doesn't seem to be getting any better anyway, does it? Nigel Farage today at the European Parliament called a lady from the Lib Den. I think he meant to call her a stuck-up patronising snob, but he called her a snuck-up patronising snob. So, damn it, you usually do so well. You're usually very good with his gob, but he cocked up there, and I think everybody's jumping on that one. But at the same time, tensions are high on all sides, so it's crazy. It's like, can't we all just get along? That's what we want to do. People are putting up fascist type or anti-German posters. In the Leave campaign put up that poster, didn't they, saying about we haven't won two world wars to be pushed around by a crowd. That's probably one of the most vicious and idiot-minded thing to put out that I've seen so far along the. I mean, that's blatant, isn't it? I mean, people are usually hiding their shit behind the slogans, but that is pretty much fucking wearing it on your shirt there. You kind of disdain for other people. So anyway, they've apologised, but whoever did that is a fucking idiot, I think. But yeah, so anyway, it rolls on, but I'm not coming here to talk about that. Apart from one more thing, Boris Johnson apparently is going to be able to tell the Queen that she can't sack him, even if he loses a no confidence vote and MPs pick a caretaker replacement. So twists and turns, it's all down to the legal documents and the legal small print, isn't it? Everyone's got lawyers on each side, seeing which way they can tuck the other one up. So. But, you know, on the other side, on each side of that, there's people on the outside getting wound up big time. So who knows where it's going to go. But shit for a lot of people, I know that. The politicians are still getting paid. That's the only problem. Anyway, let's move on to something a little bit more, I was going to say light-hearted then, but not for this guy. A man who says he had a stiffy. Segue from Brexit. Now we're going to talk about somebody stiffy for a month from Viagra. Now claims he is impotent. I forget that's his name. Knew something was up. Nat Thind knew something was up when he was still at full mast the day after taking one in June. Well, all the way till now, fucking hell, he's must have passed out a few times along the way if that's the case. But no, he's actually been in A&E where doctors diagnosed priapism. I guess that's something to do with this priapism, a long-lasting painful erection. And they failed twice to drain the blood before surgeons cut a gap with a scalpel. But now he's got no, he feels mutilated, he's still but still erect. And how he stayed like that for an uncomfortable 4 weeks. You'd actually be like pissed off with having hard-ons from them. You'd probably have like a negative thing further down the line. When every time you're going hard and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, is this how long is this going to last for? But unfortunately, the opposite effect, in fact, because he hasn't been able to get hard on because he's been had no sensation in it. So for 9 weeks. So hopefully it comes back, or maybe I think his body's having a well-earned break. I think his body doesn't want to get hard on for a few weeks. Just had 4 weeks solid one. Why is it they want to have another hard on for a while? You'll probably find it all. Who am I to know anything about this? But I think one day somewhere down the line, when his body has forgot about the 4 week hard on, he'll start to recover. Fingers crossed. Well, saying that though, they have operated on him. They might have cut the wrong thing, so he might be without it forever. But he said he can see the funny side of it now. But give it a few more months, and if it's permanent, then maybe he'll have to take up a different hobby, perhaps. Unfortunately, he's took Viagra because he's obviously, you don't need to take Viagra, do you? Why take Viagra when you're young and you don't need to? He's taking it just for extra pleasure and got a little bit more than he bargained for. Anyway, that one went on for a little bit longer than I thought, so let's move on quickly to Ed Sheeran pranked his manager by forcing him to carry a photo of the Weasley twins in Harry Potter. Never know. I don't even know who they are, but they look weird. They look like a bit like a older version of Jedward. But he makes him carrying them around in his wallet as a prank. He puts it in his contract, and he does lots of other prank situations that make him sort of put up with him. He's got no choice, has he? Because he's like Ed Sheeran's one of the richest singers or whatever's. Singers or entertainers out there, so you want to stick with that, and he's probably got something to do with that, so he's probably having to do that through gritted teeth. But if Ed Sheeran's a prankster and he's got all the money, unfortunately he's got to kind of do as he says, isn't he? Imagine that if he got sacked because he wouldn't carry what would happen if he didn't carry the photo of the twins around with him? You know what I mean? Would he sack him? Would that be like the fucking... that'd be a court case, that would. You ain't going to let that lie, are you? Can't sack somebody over that. So you can just literally say, don't do it, mate. I'm not doing it anymore. Sorry, Ed, but I've had enough of your fucking bullshit. Childish games. Next you'll be getting me to tattoo a bottle of tomato sauce on my arse like you've got that shit tattoo on your arm. Not my words. That's the words of Ed Sheeran's own tattooist. He's got shit tattoos, so... don't shoot the messenger. Rugby great Sam Warburton has hit out at the dangerous team initiation ceremonies after he was dared to drink dregs from public bins. That's nice. He said he felt pressure to neck booze and was told he was a shit bloke if he didn't. And that's basically rugby initiation games where the drinking culture. Work hard, drink hard, I think is the situation with all that stuff, isn't it? But I wouldn't like that. And he said that sometimes they would be drinking that much, he would have to be scraped off the floor, and then older players would encourage him to carry on drinking. That's pretty grim. If you ever felt rough on drink, which you, me, and everybody has, I'm pretty certain, that's the worst feeling in the world, isn't it? When you're pissed out your brains, feeling sick, and the last thing you can do is carry on drinking. So anyway. In fact, you're thinking, I'm never, ever, 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 ever drinking again. and then you feel all right after the following week, don't you? So you carry on. But that particular moment in time, you swear to the fucking, to everything up there that you will never drink again if you can just survive that fucking feeling. Pretty grim. Or is that just me? I'm not joking. I can handle my drink. But anyway, yeah. So I wouldn't like that in the a load of drunken, pissed up fucking young lads all out on the piss from the rugby club. They must be scrapping left, right, and centre anyway. Anyway, where are we going? Swampy's back. Remember Swampy? Swampy was the kind of eco guy, wasn't he? Years ago, who tied himself to a tree. I think it was a long time ago. But he's back. Swampy's back. I don't know where he's been, but he's back because I haven't heard his name for a while. In fact, the last time I heard Swampy's name wasn't even for Swampy. It was when I was at a comedy gig and somebody behind the bar kept talking at this gig, and the other comedian was on. And we've all travelled quite a distance to this place, and there was a shit bar. Nobody in the audience anyway. Nobody wanted to be there. And this comedian's doing his thing, and the guy behind the bar kept fucking talking loud over the comedian, because the comedian was obviously trying to be loud, and the guy was talking over to get himself heard to his mate. And he had this like woolly hat on, and the comedian just fucking said, "Swampy, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to come over there. I'm going to fucking, I'm going to do you over," sort of thing. So, but he called him Swampy because of this shit fucking woolly hat he had on. Anyway, veteran eco warrior Swampy is back because of and he's been arrested for blocking one of Britain's biggest oil plants in extinct rebellion. So he's still doing his thing, or doing his, it's for a good cause. He's getting behind the fact that we're all going to be extinct if we carry on the way we are, apparently. So he's got all the good cause, and I guess you need people on that side who are going to make people make decisions that otherwise they would just suggest that they're going to do it and then never ever do it. So it's disrupting people, and it's fucking up a few days for people on certain industries, but how they get the voice heard, unfortunately, you're not doing enough. So people are having to act, and Swampy will be there. Swampy's watching. Somebody's put up the Swampy sign, like the bat signs, the Swampy sign, and he's came to the calling. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I ain't got time to read more about that, but you have to find out who he is and look into that if you want. A British chippy, which is flying high with tourists from the Far East, has opened a new restaurant in China. The Scots branch in the city of Chengdu is already a hit, and 2 more are planned. Over the past 4 years, the original fish and chips in Bilborough near York has attracted coachload of visitors. The dish has soared in popularity after Chinese President Xi Jinping enjoyed fish and chips with the Prime Minister David Cameron at a pub in near Chequers. Anyway, yeah, the Chinese are like fucking go. It's crazy, isn't it? You get fish and chips anywhere, but the coach. I've actually seen that in Brighton. There's a cafe, a fish and chip restaurant, and there's loads of Chinese people there. And apparently, I know the guy who worked there, and he said they have coachloads of Chinese come straight off the plane from Gatwick or from Heathrow, and they come straight from one of the first stops. Sometimes is that fish and chip restaurant, because social media or whatever, people have gone there and said that they like it, and I've been there and there's a big queue. I've been past there and there's a big queue of Chinese people trying to go in. Not always, but it's mad, isn't it? Because you can get it anywhere. They obviously don't realise that, but they're just mad for fish and chips at the moment. So yeah, there you go, business idea for you. Off to China with you and open a fish and chip restaurant. You could be very rich. I know that the guys who had a fish and chip restaurant on my council estate growing up, they was the richest people for miles around, 100%, because everybody ate at that chip shop. Some of us 2 or 3 times a day, but they were just, oh God, I tell you what, they say money don't grow on trees. They do for them, potato trees. They were wealthy, very, very wealthy. And I think they've still got it. it's like a golden goose, isn't it? So years later, they're still rocking it out and still just taking gold bars out of there every weekend. Anyway, good for them. A half-smoked cigar stub, a half-smoked cigar stubbed out by Winston Churchill and picked up by a cinema usherette is expected to fetch thousands of pounds at auction. Crazy. That's a bit unusual thing to imagine, that, or a souvenir to keep, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like I've seen people walking around picking fag butts off the pavement, but they're looking to smoke them straight away. If somebody's picked up Winston Churchill's cigar and kept it all that time, who's to know that it's actually his? You know, it could be bullshit, couldn't it? It could just say, well, I think it was, or it was. But unless they DNA test it and that, it could just be a lie, can't it? But you only got to put the stamp of the story onto it, and that's the truth. Anyway, the World War II Prime Minister was attending the film premiere at the London Coliseum when Violet King spotted him drop one of his cigars. Dropped it on the carpet, she could get. She saw her chance to grab a souvenir and kept the butt wrapped in a shoebox until her death in the 1980s. So there you go. She picked it up and treasured it for the rest of her life. Oh well, she obviously was. It was a souvenir. It's like getting when people go crazy for their heroes and they want a piece of Elvis's hair, and they'll, even though they love the guy, or less of a hero, so people like when Take That or the Beatles, maybe not forget Take That, the Beatles or anything, they'll just, even though they love them, they'll rip a piece of their hair out or rip their clothes off and everything to have a piece of them. But they don't care really at the time. I don't care if this hurts John Lennon, I'm going to rip a piece of your hair out. Anyway, it's £5,000 to £6,000 there, so I think give me ideas to make something up. Belong to somebody. Let me think. I'll have to work on that. I'll let you know when I've come up with something. Climate change activist Greta Thunberg is all set to storm the club charts. Well, Fatboy Slim is, because he's had a clever idea to remix Right Here, Right Now with Greta Thunberg's words, and basically, so he's going to hit the headlines and it's going to get him back in the news. So clever, very clever, and she's obviously the talk of the town at the moment, or talk of the moment, isn't she? So she'll, good for both of them, I guess. So there'll be some kind of eco video, I think, attached to that, and adds to the what's it called, Extinction Rebellion. What's the word? Well, the Extinction Rebellion push and drive, you know, it's another thing. There's another string to their bow, let's put it that way. Dancing on Ice move to introduce same-sex couples will now heap extra pressure on its rival Strictly. So Dancing on Ice are having a couple on there which are both male. I don't know. Competing against couples that are male and female. It's kind of not a level playing field. It's level playing field in the fact that everybody's couples. It's not a level playing field in the fact that it's a man and a woman. I don't know. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Same-sex couple. I don't even watch the program. Couldn't give a shit, to be honest. But I'm just giving you my little opinion on it. If it's couples, man, female, male, female, who are all competing, then it has to be equal, doesn't it? It's an equal competing playing field. You know, if you wouldn't have any what's the word, you wouldn't have tennis doubles, for instance. You wouldn't have male and female tennis double compete against two male tennis doubles, or male and female tennis double compete against two female tennis doubles, because it's different. It's unequal. Not unequal, it's just not the same. It's got to be the same. Obviously nothing's equal in the sense that some people are loads better than others regardless, but just my opinion. In sport, that is. I mean, this is Dancing on Ice, so probably people don't really give a shit, but you know, it's not really, it shouldn't really, if it's couples, it's couples. I mean, couples of male, females. Male, female, male, female. Not couples. Of course, men can be couples, and of course, women can be couples. You get my point. If you don't, I can't be bothered to talk about it anymore. EastEnders actor Steve McFadden once tried his hand at being a clown, but reduced children to tears. The actor played, that's the guy who plays Phil Mitchell. So he's been playing the clown long time after that anyway, Phil, or Steve. I'm only joking, that's Ian Beale. He's, well actually, they're all, there's more than one clown in EastEnders. Ian Beale, the character, is the clown of the lot, isn't he? But that's been going on for 30 years, and the same actor plays the same character. And it's the worst character. You wonder why he's stuck with it, but it's all about the money. He probably must think he's actually Ian Beale now. He must confused with the fact that he's actually, what's his real name? I don't even know what his real name is. Does he know what his real name is? Anyway, Phil Mitchell has tried his look at playing a clown for children's party and scared the life out of him. So he obviously wasn't very good at doing his makeup. There's plenty of women who scare the life out of people with what's the word? With getting their makeup all back to front, or maybe it's when they're rolling out of a club pissed out their brains and the makeup's all over the place. Anyway, I don't know where I'm linking that to Steve McFadden's clown. Anyway, there's a picture of him. This is for the video version, but there's a picture of Steve McFadden's, or that somebody's made it up actually, made him look like that. So there you go. Don't put too much makeup on. You look good with or without it, so you don't have to overdo it, especially some of those eyebrows. Some of those are just, men are doing it as well now, and some of them are crazy. You can't imagine that that's what they actually asked for. Anyway, 17, we're getting close to the end now. I've got to kind of wrap this up. We've got to get time. Calling time of rambling on. Hero was rebuilt. So there's a girl who had her jaw ripped off by a horse. Bit of a dark subject, but the good side of it is the surgeon. The news is the surgeon who rebuilt her face. Her jaw was. She had to pick her jaw off that was hanging down there after he got injured in a horse riding accident, and it actually looks really good. She's hardly can notice, and the surgeon obviously did a sterling job. So. She's lucky because she's young, and good thing is, funny thing is, she's a horse rider, and she can't wait to get back on a horse at some point. So, not sure that's the cleverest move, but people have passions, and same as with racing drivers and anything like that. Then they get an injury, skateboarders, anything. As soon as they get an injury, serious injury, they can't wait to get healed and get back on the bike. So, when you got a passion, that's just shows that you know, it doesn't matter. You can't be without that, and they're willing to accept the injuries. Anyway, she doesn't look much different, I'm sure. I don't know the before and after photo, but she's had her jaw reattached. So good for her. That's it could have been a lot worse. The last woolly mammoth died out just 4,000 years ago. Scientists believe, still long enough. The beasts may have been hunted to death by prehistoric cavemen. Well, 100% they've been hunted to death because, apart from, unless it's the Ice Age, but man hunts, kills, destroys. Of course, that's what happens throughout history. Well, it could have been the dinosaurs killing them as well, or was that too short? No, it's only 4,000 years ago, so it would have to be man. Anyway, they'll be back soon when somebody does one of these DNA Jurassic Park things, which they're gonna do at some point. So the woolly mammoth will be back. We'll have nothing left of what we fucking got with us now. The elephants and the fucking rhinos and tigers and the lions and all that will all be gone. But we'll have woolly mammoths back, and they'll be back, and then we'll start shooting them, and there'll be some reason that they'll have to be extinct. It's animals just get the bad rap, unfortunately. They get treated like shit, and it should be stopped. Okay, so next thing you know, we're going to wrap up on a few other things. James Blunt is still haunted by his crowd surf of Worthy Farm, as so are many others, I imagine. Imagine the people who was underneath James Blunt as he went over. He basically said that he was never going to be cool. But the nearest I've been to it was at Glastonbury when he played the Pyramid stage, and thought 80,000 people in the audience. I'm going to crowd surf. This will really impress my friends. And anyway, he couldn't get back onto the stage, but I just thought there's a picture of him. Anyway, there's a picture of him there, crowd surfing. It would have been funny if he'd have crowd surfed, and then the crowd kind of took him all the way to the gate and threw him out the farm, threw him out the festival. That would have been funny. But no, I'm only joking. But he's the one who's saying he's not cool. But he's quite funny though, isn't he? If you ever watch or James Blunt, follow him on Twitter, because he's always getting loads of shit on Twitter for being James Blunt, but he just responds really, really well with some real funny jokes and stuff like that. It takes it very light-hearted and raises his profile. He's got a lot of fans. His album's doing well, so not for me, but you know, easy listening if you're into that. A UK millionaire has become the jackpot scooper of 170 million quid. I can tell you right now, it's not me. The jackpot, 170 million pounds. I was gonna share. If he didn't, that was the main one. They were gonna. If somebody didn't hit the jackpot, the next tier down would have shared the prize, and everybody could have had a bit. Unfortunately, one lucky bastard has scooped the lot. So 170 million. Him and everybody around him are going to be very happy, and then everybody around them are going to be hassling him for money, because he's got more money than he is ever going to need. Good luck to him. What am I going to finish up on? I actually was going to finish up on that one, so I've done myself a bit of a mischief there. Diners who eat a £40 plate of nachos weighing a stone in less than an hour. Diners who eat a £40 plate of nachos weighing a stone in less than an hour get it for free in the smoke pit in Northampton. So basically, you're going to stuff your face to the point that you feel really ill and sick, and then you're going to get that food for free. And then you probably never go near a nacho again in your life. If you don't finish it in an hour, you've got to pay 40 quid. So you basically got to fucking scoop it down so you're not even enjoying it, or you got to cough up 40 quid. And there's going to be plenty of people who are going to fucking do that and come off what. Oh, something's gone wrong with it. Going to come off worse for wear, one way or the other. Right, okay, I'm going to leave it there. Oh, and I'm going to finish up on one more thing. Roger Daltrey has ditched his mobile phone so he can spend his final years from technology. The 75-year-old rocker says he refuses to waste the rest of his life looking at screens, telling Music Week, I'm down to one call a day. Come on, Roger, lighten up. You've got loads of life left, and you shouldn't be talking like that. You should be talking about how you enjoy. Well, you was the other week. You were talking about how much you was enjoying your tour and your new music and that. So you got to look at your screens. That's modern life. You got to. What else you going to do? If you're not looking at the screens, you're looking at a book. If you're not looking at a book, you're looking at who knows what you're looking at. You're looking at something, but at least with the screen, you got. Well, actually, saying that. Cut down then, at least cut down, but you can't just say I'm not ditching my phone. You're just going to be what's the word? You ain't going to be up to scratch. You're going to be asking everybody else what's going on in the world, aren't you? So you're going to be annoying everybody else. Anyway, I don't know why I finished up on that one, but I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've had hopefully you enjoyed it. Going to leave it and going to be back again tomorrow. So we're back in the swing of things. See you later. Bye.